This is a Headgum podcast.
I really relate to the Red Rocks moment because I have, in my last hour, I have a huge section about my dead dad.
Right.
Dads are addicted to dying. They'll just do it.
Literally.
They're just like dropping dead out of nowhere.
They're like, bye.
They're like, see y'all.
See you later.
See you later. Like, what is going on with dads? They're just dying left and right. Lizzy, I'm so excited you're here.
Hey, me too.
Dude, I have to tell you, I almost told you this before, but then I was like, save it for the episode, Caleb. Well, first of all, I love your music.
Thanks.
I'm such a huge fan.
Oh, thanks.
But I got to have one of the... I don't know if you'll relate to this or not, but I feel like your music is so good for... It was raining so hard when I was coming over here, and I was fucking staring out the window listening to your, like, This is Lizzy McAlpine, tracks. And I was like, this is what this music is about.
I think so, yeah.
It's about
That's kind
a
of the perfect
rainy,
setting.
longing.
Yeah.
I was locked in.
Great. Love that for
I
you.
love your music. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, me too.
How's it going?
Oh, it's good,
Yeah?
Just locked into Broadway.
You're locked in on Broadway. You're doing a show on Broadway right now.
Yeah.
And how's it going?
It's going great. I'm having kind of the best time ever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You tweeted like years ago. You were like doing the urge to do a live theater show
Yeah.
is so strong that I'm doing like Broadway karaoke alone in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel like you manifested this?
100%. Also,
go.
I did tweet a long time ago about working with Jeremy Jordan, and
Yeah.
now he's in the show with me, which is crazy. So I feel like I've kind of mastered the art
Yeah.
of manifestation.
Of manifesting in public on Twitter specifically.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I love that so much. So the show, how long has it been running? Where are we at in it?
We opened like 2 weeks ago, but we started previews performances at like the end of March. So
Yeah.
it's been like kind of a little bit now, and we close at the end of June.
Is this
So-
your first? Is this your first like Broadway show?
Yes.
Okay. What does that feel to you? Were you nervous starting it? Do you feel better now?
It was kind of terrifying at first. I'm a theater kid.
Yeah.
I did theater in high school. That's
Yeah.
like my only basis for anything theater related. And so doing this was scary. But honestly, I've been learning so much, and it's kind of like one of the greatest experiences of my life so far. It really feels like I was like meant to be doing this. It's really cool. So
Yeah.
I'm having a good time now, but it's still kind of scary sometimes because I don't really know what I'm doing. I kind of just like pretend.
Yeah.
But that's acting, I guess.
That's the job. Yeah. Well, also, when it's a musical, I feel like as a singer, I just feel like it would be like, okay, well, you at least definitely know that.
Totally.
It's like
totally.
you fucking kill that part, no
right.
worries.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's so exciting, dude. Is there like a dream? Like, what are your Broadway? You're a theater kid. I was not. So when I talk to theater kids, I'm like, I learn a lot. What were your influences? Your big favorite Broadway shows? The things that made you love theater?
Oh my gosh. Well, my mom listened to Wicked in the car like all the time. So Wicked was like a touchstone for me. And then I just loved like Disney movies, like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
That was the first Broadway show I ever saw. And just like all that stuff. I don't know. My grandparents would take us to see a Broadway show every year for my sibling's birthday. And every time it was just like watching those people on stage was so... I was like, I want to do that. Like, they're giving an experience to the audience that is so unique and special. And I was like, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And now I am.
And now you are. And now you freaking are. So what, it ends in June.
Yeah.
End of June. And then, is it end of June?
Like the 22nd.
That's the end of June.
That's the end
baby.
of June,
We're
I
getting
guess.
out of
I
there.
don't know
We're
what
getting out of
time
there at the end
is.
of June. What are you doing after? Do you have any? Are you doing like tour this year? Live dates for you?
After this is over, I'm kind of like writing
Nice.
right now.
Nice.
And so after this is over, I'm going to figure out what the next project is going to be. And I don't love to tour. So if I do tour this next album, which I probably will, but it'll probably be less dates, less cities, like maybe like five shows in a row in one city, that type of vibe. And I want to do like, because I was playing like amphitheaters and stuff, and the next logical step for any artist would be like sizing up. But
Yeah.
I think I want to go just like medium-sized theaters where like people can sit
yeah.
and there's no pit.
Yeah.
And we can just like have a good time. Like that feels like the vibe for my next tour if it happens.
Yeah. Because you haven't even worked. You don't even know what the project is yet.
I know. Well, I kind of know the vibes, and I know the direction that my music is going in, and I'm kind of refining my sound a little bit more, and it just feels like it would not translate in a bigger, like in a stadium or something like that. Just is not, that's not really the vibe for my music. So.
Yeah. As a fan of the music, I would want to see you in the first thing you described. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want to see you in the theater where we can sit,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I would see you wherever, but like, I totally know what you mean.
Yeah, because I want it to feel like intimate.
Yeah.
I feel like I felt like when I was playing the amphitheater, some of them were like really, really cool. Like obviously the Greek was like fucking insane.
Yeah.
And Red Rocks and like all that stuff. But any bigger than that, and it feels kind of like you're losing the intimacy. And I feel like my music is just so specific, and it doesn't really work in a huge setting, because I feel like those are meant for like, you know, if you want to come and you want to dance and all that stuff, and that's not really my music, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll dance to your music, but it's going to be definitely like a slow sway.
Right,
yeah, it's going to be some tears involved. Your music is damaging to me. I listen to your music
Sorry
and
about that.
I go, actually, I'm thinking of things I haven't thought of actually in years. In a beautiful way.
Right,
I think
in a beautiful
actually,
way.
if I had known you were writing ceilings when you were writing it, I might have come over and said, "Don't put that out.
don't do that.
Don't
hey,
put that
maybe
out."
don't do that.
But I love it. But hey, I've got a life to live. I would have said, "Hey, what are you actually thinking?
Right.
Why would you do that to
Right,
me
yeah.
specifically?"
Sorry about that.
I wonder. Okay, if this is an annoying question, you can totally tell me. This is so casual. We can cut anything. But I do wonder. I don't know if you get asked this all the time, but like your songs going mega viral, specifically on TikTok. We have a version of that where like nowhere near what it's like for you. I mean, it's so different with a song, but like I have very complicated feelings about the internet and things going off and people talking about me and sharing my stuff. Of course, there's a version of me or a part of me that wants it or appreciates it, and it is like the point of the work. But yeah, what do you feel about, like, we're obviously right now, you know, bridge over water. It's like everywhere. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm kind of obsessed.
Yeah.
It's different. It's interesting because when I feel like I've had like 3 moments on TikTok. The first one was in 2020 when I posted that like "You Ruined the 1975" song, and I still get comments on that video. And that one, it was interesting because I never meant for that song to go anywhere, and I never really even finished writing it because I was like, this is just for fun, and this is not what I want my sound to be. This is just like for fun. And I still get people asking like, release it. And I'm like, no. Actually, maybe no, I'm not going to do that.
Actually, no.
And I also think that was at a time where I was not really confident in who I wanted to be as an artist yet. I didn't really know anything because I was just at the beginning of my career. And then the second time was Ceilings, obviously, and that was insane. And I feel like that moment really allowed me to like make my last album older, because it kind of gave me opportunities that I wouldn't have had without it. And so for that, I am grateful for that moment. But then it's also like, you know, that's the song that everyone wants to hear. And, you know, all artists who have one big hit experience this, but it's nothing revolutionary. But, you know, on my last tour, I was playing Ceilings like kind of in the middle of the set, and at Red Rocks specifically, I've talked about this before, but we played Ceilings, and then the song after that, I was playing a song about my dead father.
Yeah.
And I was just watching people like get up and walk out because they heard the song they wanted to hear, and then they left. So that was tough. That's the part of it that is like not great feeling. But you know, I try to hold both feelings at the same time, and obviously I'm grateful for all of it. And then now with Spring into Summer, I'm like, I love this song. Like, I love.
It's a great fucking song.
Like, I feel like this last album, Older, was really, really an important moment for me in my career, and just not even in my career, just in the way that I think about who I want to be as an artist. And it's the closest that I've gotten to what I feel like my true sound is and the direction that I want to go. And so to have that song have a moment right now is like really validating, because also I feel like when I released the album a year ago, people were like, we wanted 5 Seconds Flat 2.0. And I was like, well, sorry.
Well, that's not happening.
Sorry. And it was tough because I was like, this is the music that feels like so authentic to me. And people are like, we didn't want this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, but I want it.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean anything? So to have this song go go viral now is like really, really cool, and I love it.
Did you imagine? I mean, I think there are times when I'm writing a joke or something that I'm like, oh, people will latch onto this, or I think, oh, people will do something with that, and it's not why I'm doing it, but I have an acknowledgement of it.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh, that's ripe for people doing whatever. Specifically the line that's like so viral right now is "Bridge over water, I'm jumping off," and they do the, did you imagine that when you were making that song that you're like, oh, this is gonna?
I never think about that stuff. The same thing happened with Ceilings. I put the album out, and then a year later, literally a whole year later, the song goes viral.
Yeah.
And Ceilings was not a single. It wasn't like, we didn't promote it, and then it just like a year later popped off on TikTok. And the same thing's happening with Spring into Summer, basically. And I never think about that stuff when I write it. I just write the music, and I don't really, I don't want to say I don't care about having a viral moment on TikTok, but it's never like the priority.
You're not
ever.
going into the studio being like, let's cook up a sound.
No, never.
Let's cook up a TikTok challenge.
No. But it's always cool if it happens, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing you were saying about playing the hits reminds me of this moment. I went maybe like a year or two ago, and I was in LA at the time, and I saw Jeff Tweedy was playing at Largo, and I love Largo, and anytime someone I like is usually comedians, but sometimes musicians like Jeff, I'm like, oh, I'll try to pop over. And I went over and I was watching, and I just loved Jeff Tweedy so much, and I think he's actually so funny. I'm like, comedy kind of lost out on not having Jeff be a comedian. Like, good for music, but I'm like, we kind of missed out on one there. But he did this thing where he was like interacting with the audience, and he was like taking song requests. He has like such a huge body of work, and everyone was shouting out a different song. And he made this joke where he was like, this is the fucking problem. Every one of you people has a different favorite song, and I've never had a hit.
Oh my god!
And I thought that was so goddamn funny.
So funny.
Because it's like a grass is all. He wasn't genuinely bemoaning it. He was just being silly. But like the other side of that is if there was just one hit and they were all yelling the same song, it would be a totally different thing.
Right.
You know. Yeah. And I really relate to the Red Rocks moment because I have in my last hour I have a huge section about my dead dad. Right. Dads are addicted to dying. They'll just do it.
Literally.
They're just like dropping dead out of nowhere.
They're like, bye.
They're like, see y'all.
See you later.
See you later. Like, what is going on with dads? They're just dying left and right. Like, stick around, brother. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
But yeah, I have material about my dead dad that gets a little like. I'm building to a joke, but it gets a little earnest for a second in service of the joke, by the way. And watching people check their phone a couple times during that, I'm like, that's even different than a song because I'm like, there's no guesswork. I'm out loud saying that this is about my dead dad. You know what I mean? I'm like, can it wait?
Right.
But yeah, there's a live show etiquette thing about that can be really tricky when you're doing personal stuff.
Yeah, especially because I felt like Ceilings and 5 Seconds Flat in general, like I love that album, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't, it felt like an experiment. It was always like an experiment because I made my first album and it was closer to what older sounds like and my I think what I want my music to sound like. And then I became very scared of like, oh, I don't want to be pigeonholed into one genre because I like to experiment. I like to do like many, many things and I want to try something new. So I like hard pivoted and made 5 Seconds Flat. And it isn't like totally that different from the rest of my music, but it's more like pop sounding and it was very fun to make and I had a great time and I loved the music when it came out. Obviously I wouldn't have put it out if I didn't like it. But now that I'm looking back on it, I'm like, okay, yeah, that stuff is maybe not representative of who I am as an artist now. And also, like, I'm always changing and growing and learning. So it makes sense that I don't resonate with it anymore. But to have that song, Ceilings, blow up and then, like, that's all that people want to hear when I am now making music that feels, like, really close to who I am, it's like, dang.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, totally.
It's not everyone, but, you know.
No, the real Lizzy heads want whatever. That's the thing is like true fans. There's levels to fandom, and like true deep like dyed in the wool fans of your music. They want whatever. If you put out a fucking EDM album, they'd be there for it. You know what I mean? It's like they want what you want to make. They're like, we like that Lizzy was excited about this. Yeah. But yeah, it's like when it leaves the target audience, when there's a broader coalition of people who know and enjoy even passively your work. Yeah. It's tough. I've definitely had like things with this where like when I first started doing when I first started getting like a big following on the internet, there were certain characters I did that people wanted me to do over and over again. And then they only wanted me to be that guy for them.
Yeah.
And I refuse. I'm like, I will not. If it gets to a point where I'm doing a character, I don't really do characters on the internet anymore. But when I was doing a character, if it got to the point where people were commenting on all my other shit, asking for that, I would stop doing it entirely.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not going to. Thank you so much for liking it. And it genuinely is so cool that I get to like express myself as a human being, as an artist in like these silly ways, and that you respond to it. But I cannot enter into this contract with you where I'll only be one thing for you forever.
Right.
I'm not interested in it.
Yeah.
It sucks. I'm like, I don't. And there's some people who would like
we
that.
all grow. We're all growing, and like to think that someone will just stay the same for you forever is kind of a crazy concept.
Yeah. And it's a little like there's a part of it that's like, I don't want to make this sound infantilizing, but there's a part of it that's like dessert for breakfast, where it's like, if I actually gave you what you wanted, eventually you wouldn't like it.
Right.
If I was only that guy
true.
for you forever, you would get tired of it. And you may not believe that, but that is reality.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like eventually you would go like, oh, I'm done with that guy. He only does the one thing.
Yeah.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Right.
Then that would like be so corrosive to my soul, because I didn't even want to be the one thing for you.
I know.
But I did it because
That's
you were
real.
asking.
That's so real.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So, okay, but certainly enough about me. What the next album, do you already know who's like producing it? Do you have the team in place? Like, what
Not
is
really.
it? No, not that.
Before I came here to do Floyd, I was writing a lot. I basically had like 2 full albums written before I got here. And then I came here and I was doing this, and I was being exposed to this type of music that is in the show, and I started writing new stuff that sounds kind of different and more mature even than like stuff that I was writing like half a year ago. It's kind of crazy. I feel like this past year has been a lot of growth for me, and so the music is reflecting that, and I'm kind of trying to catch up with myself, honestly, in the music that I'm writing, because I feel like I'm learning so much about myself, and I'm trying to write about that stuff. So I don't really know what it's gonna look like yet, because I feel like I'm still in the process of growing.
Yeah.
And so I have to wait until that's not done, because I'm never done growing, but it just still feels like I'm in a period of like intense transformation. So I'm trying to live that and then write about that and then see what happens.
Yeah. What are you writing about right now? Can I ask? Like, what are the big inspirations, touch points?
A lot about freedom.
Yeah.
And like my independence, because a year ago, like last month, I broke up with my ex, and I did that with the sole purpose of like wanting to have my own life, because I felt like I just kind of like entered into his life, which was fun and great, and I had a great time. But at the end of it, I was like, wait, I don't have like any friends.
Yeah.
And I don't have like any of my own things that I do like by myself, for myself. And so I really wanted to spend time with myself in my house in LA. And then like I had 2 weeks in my house basically where I was like, yes, I have a routine and I'm loving this. And then I had to go on tour, which disrupted all of that. And then I kind of like was just seeing someone else at the time after that, and then I was learning things about myself through that, and then that ended, and then it's just like a whole, like, I'm just like experiencing life. It feels like for the first time, honestly, because after that relationship ended last year, I was like, oh my God, like I can do so many things. Like I'm free, kind of, you know? It felt like really cool to be free. And so now coming here, and I really am in a routine. Like I feel like I crave routine, and you do not have that on tour at all. And so that was tough for me to like know that I wanted that, but I couldn't have it yet. And then I got here, and I've just been like loving life because I have a routine. I do the same thing every day, and I kind of am loving it. But then there's also like, you know, I don't know. Does that make any sense?
It makes
like,
a lot of sense. Yeah.
I'm just like really having a great time right now, honestly. Yeah. And yeah, my independence is a top priority for me at this point in my life. And yeah.
I think about freedom all the time. And I think about specifically, it's funny that you mentioned routine as well, because I think about the way that freedom interplays with routine, where it's like, I have a lot of freedom in my life. Like I'm lucky that my career has provided me the opportunity to like, we kind of record when I want to record.
Yeah.
I go on tour when I want to go on tour.
Yeah.
I kind of say no to filming projects if I'm not in the mood to film projects. It's like, I don't have the freedom to get anything made that I want to get made. I don't have that kind of power or money. But I have a lot of freedom, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because like there are things I think I did a lot better when I had like the forced routine of like a 9-to-5 job or like my survival jobs. They forced a kind of routine on me, and now I'm the guy who has to force routine if I want it.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's like I love my freedom. I prioritize it at every step. I actively turn down a lot of different kinds of like work or relationships or opportunities just to preserve freedom.
Yeah.
But then when there's too much freedom and no routine, I like totally spin out.
Yeah.
And I need some level of routine.
Yeah.
Which is not the opposite of freedom, but it's an interesting, like the way that they work or don't work together is something I think about a lot.
Same, because before I came here, I did not have a single routine. I was just like, we're on tour and we're like moving every day, and it was just like I was just going with the motions. And then I came here, and I also while I was on tour and in between, I wasn't in my house because it was getting renovated, so I was in this like apartment, and it was just, it felt like kind of foreign, and I like couldn't really settle into that place because I knew I was going to be leaving again. And being here and being able to create a routine for myself, it like feels honestly more freeing than when I had no routine.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, maybe that makes no sense, but
No, it makes sense.
it just, I don't know, because I'm in control of what I do, and if I want to do something, I'll do it, and that feels freeing to me.
Yeah. I started thinking a lot about freedom because there was this question I was asking people at like, you know, dinner and just like hanging out a lot, where I was asking people, what you wake up 5 years from today, what is your perfect day? Like, what does your life look like in 5 years through the lens of one perfect day? And I asked so many people this question, like people who, you know, people of all kinds of different experiences, people who are from different places, people who make different amounts of money, people who do different kinds of things. And across the board, there was like really only one through line, and it was freedom. Like everyone was like, I have the ability to, you know, move this thing a couple hours and go to lunch with a friend if they call. I have the ability to wake up without an alarm. I have like freedom was like this big like river that runs through everyone's answers, which was really interesting to me. Like type A, type B, it didn't matter. Like everyone just wanted a level of freedom.
Yeah.
And they expressed it in different ways, but it was a thing I noticed. And I was just like, oh, that's so interesting. That's kind of what we all want. It's just like, it's not always freedom from a relationship or freedom from a job or whatever, but everyone generally just wants to feel like on some level, I am free to do what I would like to do.
Yeah. And I also was writing, before I came here, I was writing a lot about freedom within a relationship. Like that's also something that I was learning a lot about, and like needed to, because my last relationship was like so not freeing, but it was just different. And the relationship that I got into after that one was like so incredible, and like so like a complete like 180 from my last one. And I was learning how to be like have my own life and also be in a relationship, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
So I was writing a lot about that, and also I've been writing about like I wrote a song about tour again, because it's just a lot, so I got to write about it somehow. What else am I writing about? I don't know. Just really freedom is the main through line.
Yeah. When you're on tour, your brain becomes this like, it's like we just got off a massive one, like 25 cities or something, and or massive for us, I should say. I know other comedians do like 1.5 year long tours. It was big for us.
That's so crazy.
But yeah, I just start to think about these little things that are so specific, like the specific act. I was thinking for like 2 weeks straight about the specific act of every day I would get to a new hotel and there's a place in my wallet where I keep whatever hotel key I'm using at the time. I would remove I would remove the one from the previous hotel from the night before, throw it in the trash can in the new hotel room, and put in the new hotel key. And I would do that every single day into the same place. And I would be like, that is so fucking weird. Like, there's not anything really profound about that, I don't think. But it just was like, every fucking day I would remove a key to a place I'm now hundreds of miles away from.
So it's crazy.
That's weird.
It's a crazy lifestyle. Like, it really is. It's so like unnatural.
Yeah, it is. It's like we also comedy tours are routed so differently because we just pretty much can show up and start the show. This was a little different because we had tech stuff, so we did a little bit of a check. But yeah, we did Atlanta one night and Toronto the next. Like, you just get on a plane. It's like, that's
so
not
crazy.
normal.
No, it's so crazy.
That's nutty.
Well, yeah. Also, it's like when I was touring before my last tour, it was set up in the normal way that like a lot of musicians tour, which is like,
it was like a van tour or a bus or what was it?
Oh, we were on a bus. Nice. Yeah.
Trying to get a gauge of where we were in it. Yeah. Right. Okay. Bus tour. Got
and
it.
This was like 2023. Yeah, it was like crazy. It was routed like, you know, the normal way where like sometimes we're doing 3 shows in a row and then we're like showing up to the venue and playing a show later that night and it was just all crammed into like a month and a half. And I literally, like, I was getting sick, like, physically on every tour that I was going on because it was so, like, such a strain on my body and I wasn't, like, eating. It was, like, I was miserable.
Yeah.
And so on my last tour that we just did, we made it totally different and we spread the dates out and we weren't on a bus, we were just flying everywhere and we would do 2 weeks of tour and then 2 weeks off and then 2 weeks and it was just like so much better. And yeah, I got a little bit of pushback in the beginning because people were like, well, this is not how you do it, like it's more expensive and blah blah. And I was like, I don't really care. I need to like be sane while doing this. Otherwise I'm going to have a horrible time and it's going to show on stage because I can't keep any emotion inside of my body. Like if I'm feeling a certain way, it will come out even if I don't want it to. And if I'm like upset or not having a good time one day, like the show is going to suffer from that. And I don't want that, obviously. I want to make sure that everyone has a great experience. And so I was like, no guys, we got to do it this way.
Today's episode is brought to you by Alma. Alma is on a mission to simplify access to high-quality, affordable mental health care. Alma has a community of over 20,000 diverse therapists. Therapists on the platform offer both in-person and virtual care. While online tools and resources can be a useful starting point or supplement, human relationships are an irreplaceable part of mental health care. Alma can help you find someone who will work with you on your specific needs and goals and support you in making real progress and improving your mental health. Alma also makes things real simple to find a therapist. Some people turn to impersonal online resources like forums or chatbots because they think finding a therapist is expensive and difficult. This directory makes it easy to find therapists that take your insurance and meet your unique needs with filters like red, gender, race, therapeutic approach, and more. Know the cost of your sessions up front using Alma's cost estimator tool. At Alma, 97% of therapists accept insurance, including United, Aetna, Cigna, and more. Better with Peeper. Keep it, leave it. I'm human. Better with people. Better with Alma. Visit helloalma.com/sotrue to get started and schedule a free consultation today. That's helloalma.com/sotrue. What's up, y'all? It's time for my favorite part of the episode, the ads. This episode of So True is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Y'all, summer is just around the corner, and you guys deserve to really treat yourselves this year with a great place to stay when you take that big trip. From vacation rentals to hotels across the U.S., Booking.com has the ideal summer stay for absolutely anyone, even those who might seem impossible to please. Whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, your early to bed, early to rise brother-in-law, or your high-maintenance group chat, you can find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com. Booking.com makes it easy to find places to stay that can accommodate your specific needs. Like imagine you're a band with a very particular soundproofing need, or you're looking for maximum relaxation with a hot tub and sauna to turn your vacation rental into your own private spa. When I'm looking for a place to stay, I simply must have a beautiful full kitchen so I can whip up some of my world-famous spicy baked beans with bacon bits. I simply must have a beautiful full kitchen so I can whip up some of my world-famous spicy baked beans with bacon bits. If I can find my perfect stay on Booking.com, anyone can. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app.
Also, I don't understand as an artist, the thing of like, you just get all these, and it's no one's. I'm not talking about the agents or the managers or the promoters or anything. I'm just talking about in general. There's this constant influx of like ways you can extract more and more and more money, ways you can save money. You can do an extra night. You can travel quicker.
Yeah.
You can make yourself more tired. You can the venue will let you flex pricing the tickets so that you can screw over whoever gets to the tickets late. Which scalpers were already going to do for you. You can upsell the merch. You can, like, it's all these ways that you can extract more and more and more money. And I go, well, wait, if the sole thing I got into this for was to protect the bottom line and extract more and more money and create more and more profit, I think I would have just worked in finance or something.
Right.
I'm like, that's not what I'm doing.
That's kind of what the song that I wrote is about. Like it's just like never ending, really, also. Because I also feel like when I did my 2023 tour, I did the first tour and then they were like, okay, we're going to do another one in the same cities, just bigger venues. And I was like, for the same album? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, but I already did this.
Yeah.
And they were like, will you do it again? And I'm like, really? Like, this is... I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So then
well,
I did
you'll
that.
do more. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? And then I had to cancel the Europe leg of that second tour because I was like literally unwell.
Yeah.
And it just like never ends. It's just they get you and then you just like keep going in this cycle and it just never ends. And eventually I was like, I have to put my foot down. Like, I can't be doing this all the time because it's not sustainable at all for me.
Yeah, they'll put you on the wheel. If you allow yourself to be put on the wheel, they'll put you on the hamster wheel. It has to be more like, I think of it more like, I don't want to be in the hamster wheel, but I'm fine doing the like the motorized walkways at the airport kind of thing where it's like, I will do some things,
Totally.
you know, there are like little stretches of the career where I will do the fast, smart, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like optimized thing, but I can't be on the wheel. I'm not going to just in perpetuity stand there and run and run and run and run and run.
Yeah, no.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Which is kind of the theme of the show.
Right.
When you're writing a song, is there a place you typically start? Do you start with the melody? Do you start with the lyrics? Like, where are you starting more often?
I start recently it's kind of been shifting, but for the most part, I start with the chords because I feel like those dictate the tone of the song. And then after that, the words and the melody kind of come hand in hand, because it's really just like word vomit. I'm just like, I sing things and then I'm like, okay, that was horrible or that was amazing, and I'll write it down, and then that's how I write a song. It really is just like,
yeah. So you don't have a bunch of like, I feel like it's not two camps, but I feel like some of my musician friends have a bunch of lyrics sitting around that need melodies, or they have a bunch of melodies sitting around that need lyrics, and that's not happening with you.
Sometimes if lyrics are coming to me, I will write them down and then build a song based on those, but that does not happen very often, and if it does, the song is not very good. Sometimes I have started with a title like a few times, like the song that I was just talking about tour and fame and all that stuff. It started from a title that my friend just like said. We were just in conversation and he said this phrase and I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. Oh,
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the song, but that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. Well, you went to Berkeley for what, 3 years?
2. I dropped out halfway through.
You dropped out. Well, which is such a popular, like, I feel like that's a huge joke about Berkeley. It's like if you finish, you know,
right.
We were talking to Justin Tranter about that. Like if you finish Berkeley, you know, who knows where you're headed. Yeah. But if you drop out, that's a really good sign, you know. Where when you were deciding to drop out of Berkeley, was that like a big decision, or what did that look like? Or we just
it honestly felt really like, yeah, this is the logical next step, because I was there, it was during my second year, halfway through the second semester, and it was like March of 2020, and COVID happened, and they shut down their in-person campus. And then my dad died on the same day. And yikes.
Same day.
Yeah. But they shut down everything. It was crazy time. It was crazy time.
It was crazy time.
It was crazy time.
So I guess I would just say, if I had to sum it up, it was crazy time.
It was crazy time.
Yeah, it was crazy time.
It was. Oh God. Yeah.
Jeez.
Then I went home and I had been making my first album like through that whole year, and I finished the semester online, which was horrible. Doing songwriting classes over Zoom. I was like,
Jesus.
no, guys, I can't do this anymore. And then my first album was scheduled to come out in August. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to drop out. And I don't really feel like I didn't feel like I was needing it anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if I got anything out of like the classes that I was taking, because I had to take a lot of like tonal harmony and like ear training, and I don't know how to do that stuff. Like I don't know how to identify a chord if you just play it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. And that stuff never factors into how I write music. Like I'm not thinking like, okay, I'm gonna write this chord progression and like I don't think about it that way. So I felt like what I really got out of it was my community and the people that I met, and I still have really close friends from there, and that was what I needed, I think. And also just being exposed to all the different styles of music. Like I had never listened to jazz before I went to Berkeley, and that's like basically a lot of what that is there. And so that definitely influenced what I was writing and the risks that I was willing to take in my music. And yeah, but dropping out was logical because I was like, my album's gonna come out and I feel like I'm good.
Yeah. One, it was just crazy time.
It was right.
crazy time.
It was crazy time.
Yeah, I do. You really tapped into something though that I think is so true of like artistry in general, which is like you don't necessarily have to go to Berklee School of Music. You don't necessarily have to train comedy at IO in Chicago. You don't necessarily have to go to any of these places, but you do have to find a community of people who give a shit about what you give a shit about, and these places do create that.
Totally.
So it's there if you want it, but you can also
Right.
find it elsewhere. But yeah, that's the thing is like the people you meet when you're starting out who are going to inform your sensibilities, who are going to like help you figure out what's actually good, whether you're actually good, what being good even means. Like all those kind of questions are not necessarily something you're going to get from like a class,
Right.
but something that you might get from being in
The
class
experience.
with those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also met my ex who I wrote my entire last album about. So it was good.
God bless. Yeah.
God bless. Thank
So,
you.
You know what? God bless.
Thank you.
you. Thank God for everybody I've ever met that taught me something, even if it was bad.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is in Boston.
Yeah.
Is that where Berkeley is? Yeah.
There's
Boston.
two. People always get them mixed up.
Yeah.
I say I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston.
Yeah.
Because if
Let
I
me
just
be
say
very
Berkeley,
clear.
they're like, oh, in California. I'm like, no,
No, not that.
not that one.
Not that at all, actually. Yeah, that makes so much sense to me. I mean, music, oh God, I can't, I have such an appreciation for it. I love music so much and I listen to music all the time. I listen to music more than I do anything, but I have no idea how y'all, I don't know how you do it.
Honestly, like me neither.
You go, like when you're like, I work on the chords, I'm like, totally.
Right. Like, I don't know. Honestly, it kind of feels like when I write a song, this might sound insane, but sometimes it feels like I'm literally just a channel.
Yeah.
Like it's coming from me, but it's also not coming from me. Like it's coming from somewhere else. And
You're like
I
the
have to,
Pope.
right.
You're just like the Pope. It's
Yeah,
flowing through
guys.
you. You're the Pope. Lizzy McAlpine is the Pope of music.
You heard it here first.
Amen.
Y'all know how much I love a comfy couch. Y'all know how much I love a comfy couch or a comfy chair. Having the right furniture is a key ingredient to turning a house into a home. So I want to talk to you about my friends at Cozy, whose motto is everyday home furnishings made easy. Cozy's built for real life, y'all. Their pieces are modern, adaptable, and worry-free, and they're designed to make every day-to-day feel a little lighter, just like me, with functional innovation at every step. And if you're like me and can barely assemble a house of cards, let alone a coffee table, don't worry. Cozy provides easy assembly, easy mix and match, and versatile multifunctional style that adapts to you. Cozy helps you open up new home possibilities. Furniture shopping should be an exciting experience. Furniture shopping should be an exciting experience. Cozy helps make the whole process from shopping to purchasing to setup an absolute breeze. Cozy is dedicated to the idea of easy everything and offers modular design options so your furniture can change with each season that life brings you. Mix and match different styles and colors, swap out the old and add in the new with stylish selections and design assistance to help you as you explore new options on your personal interior design journey. Transform your living space today with Cozy. Visit cozy.com. That's COZEY.com. The home of possibilities made easy. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid, all in one place. We could all use a good website in this day and age, I tell you what. And Squarespace has so many awesome features to get yours up and running. Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid, all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. Get paid on time with professional on-brand invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools. Get discovered fast with integrated Squarespace SEO tools. Every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more. So you show up more often on search engines and bring in more of your ideal customers. Head to squarespace.com/SoTrue for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code SoTrue to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace.
But I really feel like, because when I try to write a song and I don't have the inspiration and it's not there, it feels like it's just like not time yet. And sometimes I'll feel like I have a song, it's like in the back of my head, it's on the tip of my tongue, like it's about to happen, but it's not ready yet. And then when it is time, I'll just like know that it's time, and it just like all comes out of me, and it feels honestly like kind of spiritual, a little bit. But yeah,
that doesn't sound crazy to me.
It's yeah.
I feel that way about writing. I mean, there's definitely jokes that I'm like, there will be. I don't sit down that often with a pen and paper and go, this is what this is going to be.
Yeah.
I often have a thought that is like persistently bugging me and with me for a long time, and I just trust. I'm like, that will come out as a joke eventually,
Right.
And then yeah, eventually it does, and sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good, but either way it happens. And then sometimes through like continuing to do it, I may get better, and it actually ends up being something like worthwhile.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all my favorite jokes or all my favorite lines in a script or all my favorite things I've created have been something that just persistently bugged me and then eventually just kind of happened.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that like routine and like practice don't help.
I mean,
but
yeah, because I've been writing for so long and I've written so many bad songs. It's like yeah, I don't know. It's like allowing that to happen now because I've been doing it for so long, and I'm like, okay, I know how to do it. I know I can do it. Sometimes I'll write a good song, and then I'll be like, I don't think I could ever write a good song ever again. Like, because then I'll try and write after that, and I'll be like, oh God, like I think it's just done for me.
Yeah,
like, I think it's over.
I
think I have to quit.
Yeah,
like,
it's over. I did
it's
my
time
big
for
one.
retirement.
Yeah. It's time to go to Boca Raton. Everything is over for me. I wrote a couple good songs, and my latest one was my last one.
Yeah, like so it always feels that way. But then I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna happen again. I just have to wait.
Yeah.
Because also I'll be experiencing something, and I'm like, I want to write a song about it, but I'm in the middle of it, and I have to wait until I've processed the thing to be able to write about it.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating sometimes because sometimes I'm like deep in it and I'm like, I need to write about this, but it just doesn't happen yet.
Yeah. So many musicians that I talk to allude to this idea of having all of these allegedly horrible songs they've written. And I'm like, I want to convince y'all to put some of those out. Because I'm like, I want to know. I'm like, all my favorite musicians have said this exact same thing where they're like, oh yeah, I'm good at writing because I've written so many bad ones. I'm like, put a couple of them out. I want to know.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world probably, but unless it was like stuff that I wrote when I was like 13, you know?
Yeah.
Like that would be, oh my God. I found this one song.
Let's go.
Sometimes I like look through my voice memos or my files, but one time I was looking through my emails because when I was like 14, 15, my mom like got me she like bought studio time, and I went in and like recorded some of my own songs and like recorded a cover of a Demi Lovato song. I don't know. I was just like having fun, you know,
as one does.
right?
Yeah.
And I was looking for that, and I found this song that I made in GarageBand, and it's honestly hilarious. Like it's so funny, and I'm like, this is kind of a banger.
What's it about? Be honest.
I don't even know what it's about, and also like, what. I don't even know what the lyrics are. It's called Heartless. Okay.
First of all, let's start there.
But
yeah.
like, what was I writing about? Like, I was probably like 12, 13. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have any life experiences to draw on.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, I'm like, that can never see the light of day. But stuff that
so
I've
bad.
written, I can play it for you after.
Yeah. Play it at least for me. Yeah.
But the stuff that I've written in the past couple of years is like, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's just like, sometimes also it's, I don't release a song not because it's bad, just because it doesn't like fit
Yeah.
the story that I'm telling.
Yeah.
So
What's if I was like, hey, you have to make a Mount Rushmore of songs. Like this, the best songs,
God.
the best songs ever.
Okay.
What are there some that you would put in that category? Like what
like
are
of my
the
own
ones?
songs or of just songs
No,
in general?
of general. I wouldn't
Okay.
make you do that of your own songs.
Yeah, I was
That'd
like,
be crazy.
Jesus. Oh my God, how many people are on
4.
Mount Rushmore?
I asked that recently too. Someone asked me to do a Mount
Who-
Rushmore. and
who
I was
is
like,
on Mount
is it
Rushmore?
4? Is it
And how did
McKinley?
they pick if they're on
Washington,
Mount Rushmore?
Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, and Thomas Jefferson.
Who
Why
like
did I
gets to
think
choose?
McKinley was up there.
I don't know.
I'm like, what is wrong
Who
with me?
chooses what's on?
I think it was probably just one white guy
Yeah.
who picked,
Right.
or maybe Congress, which is just a couple more
Interesting.
white
Like,
guys.
what was the reason for it?
At the time? Who knows? I'm sure they did something evil. It was probably like the site where they killed a bunch of Native Americans or
Right,
something horrible.
probably.
Like there's no chance it was just cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
No.
that's legitimately like the land is constantly in dispute. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
that's not good.
Great.
But okay, if you had
okay.
to pick a statue,
Back to
we'll call it something else. If you had to put 4 songs on a banner, what are 4 songs do you think are just incredible?
oh my God. Okay, I kind of need to look at my Spotify for this.
Get in there. I'm trying to think. I've done something like this before. I said Godspeed is up there for me. Godspeed is
such a good
so like I just think it's such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And anyway, okay, Godspeed. Maybe To Zion, Lauryn Hill. I'm trying to think. I mean, all my, you feel like you should say something so old or so like
Right, to be
classic.
cool.
And I'd be like, yeah, I always be like,
I know
Canon and
things.
Taco Bell's Canon and D. You know, I'm like, that's what we're gonna.
Taco Bell's Canon and B?
Taco Bell's Canon and D. Like you want to say something smart, but I'm like, no, of course I think
Yeah.
it's like all stuff I've listened to in my lifetime.
Right.
I don't know. What do you got?
It's tough because I have like my favorite songs right now, but I think overall, oh gosh, okay, probably like Amelia by Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
Is like that whole album, Hegira, is just like
That's a really cool
just
answer.
insane. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, all those songs, Coyote, Amelia, Hegira, whatever the other songs are. I can't think of them right now.
You're like,
but
what are my 4 favorite songs? 4 songs
Furry
from
Sings
one
Lulu is
Joni
a
Mitchell
Strange Boy.
album.
I can't-
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I love that.
What else? I've really like, I started listening to Joni like recently, kind
Oh,
of like
really?
in the
I was
past
going to ask
year.
if she was an influence for you.
in
but
the past year,
yeah.
and it's like opened my world up. I'm like, where have I been?
Yeah.
Literally. So lots of her songs are probably on there, but also Nick Drake
Mm-hmm.
is probably on there. Like Road, that song is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like the song Zanzibar by Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like kind of a banger.
You going to put a Demi song on there or no?
Oh, I can.
Like,
I love her older stuff. Oh, what is that album? Yep, it's gonna come to me.
don't even worry about it. This is
Here
space
We
where
Go Again. That song. Do you know that song?
I'm
Or
thinking-
then like
I'm
Get
thinking
Back.
Here He Come Again. Or Here He Comes Again. What's that?
I don't
I'm thinking
know.
of a Dolly Parton song. Here you come again.
Oh yeah, that's not Demi
Looking
Lovato.
better than anybody has a right to.
Yeah, I know that song. I don't know
Yeah.
who that is though.
It's Dolly, but I
Okay.
can't remember what the name of the song is for some reason. Here You Come Again? I think it's Here You Come Again.
Yeah, maybe.
Or Here He Comes Again. Anyway, wait, that does inspire another question for me though. Who are your influences? Like who are like when you think about like Lizzy McAlpine body of work, who informs?
Right now?
Yeah.
Or like in general?
I think I was probably asking in general, but guess
really
what?
know,
I'll take whatever you give me.
Because it changes. Because I feel like when I was writing my first album, it was like Sarah Bareilles, like Dodie. God, who else? I don't even really remember. And then like 5 Seconds Flat was like Phoebe Bridgers, Holly Humberstone, like that type of vibe.
Love Holly. Love Phoebe, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And then now I feel like I'm
also me saying love Holly. I think it's just known that I love Phoebe. I want to be clear about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And recently, with older, it was kind of like Andy Schaaf. I don't know if you know Andy Schaaf.
We don't.
I love his music so much. He's so good. And like Leaf Fullback and like more indie artists. And now the stuff that I'm writing is very inspired by Joni, like heavily Joni and like Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Come on.
Who else? I made a playlist for it.
Yeah.
I make playlists for like inspiration for my albums, and it's Neil Young.
Do you ever share those?
Sufjan.
Like you've never put those out and been like, this was the inspiration
but that's
for
kind of cool. Maybe I should.
That would be kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah, Sufjan.
Sufjan, yeah, of course.
But like, yeah, it kind of changes a lot, but that's what I've been into recently. That's been really inspiring. And also like the composer of this musical that I'm in, Adam Gettle, is like very inspiring to me also, even though it's Broadway, but it's the way that he writes music is so crazy because it's so non-intuitive. Like some of the melodies that he chooses are like, I did not expect that to go there. The chords that he uses, like, it's crazy. And I've really been inspired by that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we always ask people on this show, what's so true to you? Do you have a so true?
Okay, I think it's that sometimes it's okay to cancel.
I think in a big way it's okay to
I think so too, because like I do it all the time.
Sometimes it's the
you just
merciful
like
thing to do.
can't. Sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Also, literally, you're correct about this, and also it's like, there was sometimes showing up in a bad mood that's almost always the wrong thing to do.
Right.
If you're gonna be in a bad mood, I would prefer you cancel on me. I don't
Right,
want to go to dinner
totally.
and you're clearly like struggling through it.
Right.
Stay home. I'll do something else.
Sometimes I'm like, I just can't, like, my social battery goes so fast that it's like, if I am scheduling like a dinner with you after a long day of like doing things in public, I'm like, I'm sorry. I have to stay inside and stare at a wall right now.
I need to stare at a wall sometimes.
Same.
In a big way.
All the time.
Canceling can be kind. Canceling is kindness
Yes,
in some ways. And
exactly.
it's almost always acceptable.
Yeah.
I've gotten better about this. I will say when I was younger, I had a beef with people who canceled on stuff. I'll be like, for what? Like, just power through. And I've really gotten to a point where I'm like, no, I thank you. I fully
Well, also,
go nuts.
like, what if you're sick, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to be around you if you're sick.
Yeah.
You know?
I do like canceling. I do think it's good.
Me too.
And it feels so good.
It does. Oh, God, the relief.
Yeah.
I've canceled on, like, work things before at the last minute, too, because I'm like, I thought I could do this, and I said yes for some reason, but I just don't think I can do it. And then once that text is sent,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Ooh.
yes.
Ooh. I just got high off that. Like, that felt so good, even just to remember the times I felt that. When you've been stressing and you're like, I really don't want to do it. And then you send that text or that email and you're like,
And then they're like, all good, no worries.
yes.
Thank you.
Dude, the fucking cathartic release of like, I
know.
didn't want to do this and I didn't and it all worked out fine.
I know.
That's so
I know.
special.
Yeah.
That's so special. And even, by the way, I don't even really need I've gotten to a point with like, I know that I'm a nice person. I know that I'm a thoughtful person. I know that I'm a reliable person. Even if I know that it is worries on their end, that if it's like, it actually fucked up their day that I had to cancel this, but I know that I had to for some reason, like I didn't have the battery or something else came up. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, they will just have to make peace with that.
Yeah.
I do it for other people all the time.
Totally.
There are plenty of times someone has had to cancel on me or had to change something on me that I've had to just be like, that really sucks for me, but I'm going to figure it out and you'll get me back. They're just going to have the same mentality or not and be miserable about it, but I can't control it.
Right.
Like relinquishing that control of like, I think when I was younger, I was like, you cannot be mad at me. You have to understand. I'm now like, you don't have to. I hope you do.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, totally.
You actually don't have to, and I can't force you to, but I would understand if the roles were reversed, and if you can't, that really sucks for both of us.
Yeah.
But you're just gonna have to do whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And not in a mean way. It's just like, I'll do whatever I can. Like, if I've had to cancel on a work thing, I almost always, of course, try to do it with as much lead out time as possible. And I've offered like a show, I'll offer to be like, I'll try to find a comic to replace me on the lineup or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I will try to help. But yeah, sometimes it's just unavoidable and you have to cancel.
Yep.
Especially if it's like a low key social engagement. It's like, we can reschedule coffee.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But
those I feel less bad about because it's like we have all the time in the world.
Yeah, life is long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course I want to see you. I will say there's a cap. I do have some friends who have gotten so comfortable with canceling that they're like,
Well, yeah.
if we're rescheduling coffee for the 4th time, that's probably when I'm going to go, hey, I'm not going to be texting about this anymore, and we might just not be hanging out.
Right.
And that is actually also okay.
Yes.
But there is a cap to the reschedule.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's a full cancel, and then we come back later and try to do a new plan.
Right.
We're not rescheduling the same plan.
thing.
Do you know what I mean?
Times, yeah.
Yeah, there is a cap on that.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
I do think that's true.
Yeah.
I do think that at a certain point, it's like, yeah, we're no longer rescheduling that coffee from April when it's December. We're actually now talking about
It's
a new
plan.
plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might want to like, let's start talking about the zoo or something.
Right.
Yeah. We need to just change the whole plan altogether.
Yeah.
I will do that sometimes. If I've had to cancel twice, when I reach out for the 3rd time, I'll be like, hey, I know we said coffee, but do we want to do dinner? Like, I'll change I'm like,
Yeah.
this might change the kinetic energy of what we're trying to do.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it's the afternoon that's fucking with us. You know, maybe we needed the sun to be down for this to work out.
Yeah, maybe.
I do start thinking about that. Oh, that's so funny. Canceling is good. I like this. So true.
Yeah.
This is a really good one. I have a segment for you.
Okay, great.
Okay. This is a true or false segment.
Okay.
I'm going to read you 15 statements. You're going to tell me as quickly as you can if you think what I just said was true or false.
Okay.
And then if you get 10 or more correct, we're going to give you $50. Just a little treat.
Okay.
Just a little treat. Okay, you ready? Julie Andrews has an EGOT.
True.
False.
Fuck.
The Master Chief from the Halo game's real first name is John.
False?
It's true.
Oh my God.
The Scottish language only has 3 words for snow.
I should know this. I'm Scottish. True.
False. 421.
421?
Apparently. Meg White wanted to be a chef before her drumming career took off.
What is that? Oh, true.
True.
Okay.
The original
1.
London Bridge is now in Arizona.
False?
True.
What?
Next to Normal debuted on Broadway in 2005.
True.
False. 2008. That was a tricky one.
Wow.
Alaska moves 3 inches closer to Hawaii every year.
True.
True. Kylie Kelsey went to Lower Marion High School.
True.
True.
I knew that one.
Plastics take 20 years to decompose.
I feel like they take more. False.
False. 450 years.
Oh, God.
Oh! Amazon was originally an online travel agency.
True. False?
False. It was an online
Okay.
bookstore. Big Bear Lake is south of Los Angeles.
South? False?
False. It's north.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
I've been there.
Batman was created before Superman.
False.
False. The mascot for Wawa is Wally the Seal.
False.
False. It's Wally the Goose.
The heck? A seal?
What
I've never
the
seen
heck?
that.
You wish. Spring Awakening is set in Germany.
True.
True. There are no dinosaur bones in the Grand Canyon.
True.
It's true. I don't know how we know that.
Yeah.
It is true. How'd she do?
One of the greatest comebacks of all time.
Really?
10.
Wow.
Okay.
That's actually crazy. Wow. You went on a
I
legendary
really thought
run.
that I was not going to do well. In
You
the
went on a
beginning.
legendary run, dude. That was
special.
sick.
That was very special.
We haven't had that before.
No.
We've
What?
had people do really well out of the gate and then win. We've had people do really bad out of the gate and then lose. We have not had a comeback like that.
Oh my God.
You did something legendary today on the So True Pod.
Wow.
That is so funny. Well, okay, things that people can do right now. Where can they find you? What should they listen to? What should they watch? Tell them about Lizzy.
Okay. You can find me anywhere.
Yeah.
On Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms, Instagram, just my name,
Lizzy
TikTok, all that stuff. What was the second one? What should they
Oh,
listen
she
to?
comes to you in your show.
Yeah, I'm in Floyd Collins right now on
Yeah.
Broadway at the Lincoln Center Theater. Yeah. come see that.
Come see Floyd Collins before the end of June.
Yes.
That's so exciting. Congratulations, dude.
Thanks.
And thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I love the music so much, and I can't wait
thanks.
to hear the rest of it. I'm so excited for the new stuff.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. Thanks for doing it, dude.
Yay.
That was a Headgum podcast.